Yeah, and we get impatient. But the problem with impatience is it leads to tiny goals. Because when we aren't patient, when we're not willing to take 5 years or 10 years or 20 years to get something, then we can only take on little somethings. But when we're willing to take 20 years to get something, then we can take on really big somethings. Does that make sense? I know that's a lot of theoretical, but okay, good. Yeah, Bill.
Is this something you're suggesting we try to achieve in our coaching process, or is this something that we're trying to direct somebody towards, or is this for our own personal growth, or where are we at?
Thank you. I actually think you're confused because I got it. It's a little.
Well, I'm sure it's your fault.
Thank you. The answer is yes. The answer is that the reason I'm doing this is because I think that in your life, if you practice this, you'll have more joy and intimacy.
This is a goal for us to achieve just within ourselves, and okay, right?
Right, and also in the coaching relationship. Because even in a coaching relationship, I've known coaches that keep all their focus on helping people get the things in their life.
Okay.
Their house arranged, their career handled, or their relationships with other people handled. And if in our coaching we focus all our attention over here, I think the person's going to be left with not as much as we could give them. So I'm recommending even in the coaching relationship that you move toward a balance.
Okay, so it's in the coaching relationship and then in our own personal lives.
That's
Both.
right.
Both.
That's it. And I realize I didn't point that out. Barbara.
But then how does that fit with helping the client follow their agenda if their agenda has more to do with things and other people than it does to do with self and relationship?
Yeah, it's a good question. And when the client says, no, I want to talk about my finances, and I want to talk about my health, and look, things are fine here, and and I am talking sort of about myself, and yeah, you're doing a good job. Then I'll stay here. But my goal is to give them the option, to give them the alternatives, and even once in a while to teach a little. Once in a while now, not much, but once in a while to tell them my wisdom. And from my point of view, the wisdom is that this coaching relationship is going to go more powerfully. You're going to get more of what you want in your life if we also focus on this, this, and this. Now, all I can do is suggest it and then follow their lead. I have a man that I've been coaching for about 1.5 years in California, and even though he's in his life, I see he's very well balanced. In our coaching, he really focuses in this domain. We've spent a tremendous amount of time on his career and his finances. And they've both blossomed. Really, I mean, the guy has gone from one end of the financial spectrum to the other, and we just haven't done much in those other areas, which is fun for me, but it's what he wanted. And I've pointed it out. And he says, yeah, I know, but you know. So we stay there. This used to say, choose your conversations and your community. Because once in a while, the way to choose your conversations and change them is to change your community. That's the concept, one of the concepts behind Alcoholics Anonymous. That if you want to stop drinking, quit hanging out in bars. And if you want to become sober, you better change your friends. Because those friends are not going to promote your sobriety. So choose your conversations. And when you can't, then change or choose your community. Because if you want to talk about bowling all the time, don't go hang out with the tennis club. They don't want to talk bowling. They want to talk tennis. The most powerful woman I've ever met, in my opinion, is a woman that runs something called the Hunger Project. And her name is Joan Holmes. And her mission in life is to end hunger on the planet. And that's all she does. And she told me once, she said, no matter where I am, we're talking about the end of hunger. And I said, well, I don't understand. What if you go in, there's something going on and they're not talking about the end of hunger? She says, I changed what we're talking about. And I said, what if you go to a party and they're talking about something? She said, well, I bring the end of hunger. I said, well, do you ever feel rude? She says, no, I feel committed. I'm committed to the end of hunger, and wherever I am, we're talking about the end of hunger. Period. And I says, well, what if they just won't change? They just won't talk about the end of hunger. She says, oh, that's what feet are for.